What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Talk. Today, let's get started with Sean Strickland found himself at the center of fresh controversy as UFC 323 came to a close, and the news quickly became one of the biggest talking points of the night. Moments after the event wrapped, the UFC confirmed that Strickland will officially headline the upcoming UFC Houston card on February 21st, where he is scheduled to face surging contender Anthony Hernandez in what promises to be a high-stakes middleweight matchup. However, the headline wasn't just about his next fight, it was about where Strickland wasn't allowed to be tonight. According to Strickland himself, he attempted to attend UFC 323 to support his fellow fighters, but the organization denied him access. In a blunt statement that instantly lit up social media, Strickland said that UFC executives personally called him to inform him he was suspended and prohibited from entering the event. True to his outspoken reputation, Strickland openly expressed his frustration, claiming he was told to fucking off by UFC leadership. While the details surrounding the suspension were not immediately disclosed, the incident adds yet another layer of tension to the already complex relationship between Strickland and the promotion. As the dust settled on that drama, the UFC delivered additional major announcements for UFC 325, an event set to take place in Australia. Fan favourite lightweight Dan Hooker is slated to return in a thrilling matchup against the dangerous and fast-rising Benoit Saint-Denis. This bout has already generated excitement as both fighters are known for their relentless pace and finishing ability. Alongside that, Rafael Fiziev, one of the division's most explosive strikers, is scheduled to meet Mauricio Rufy in another high-octane showdown that is expected to shake up the lightweight rank. With multiple divisions now seeing movement and new storylines emerging across the board, fans have no shortage of talking points following these announcements. Strickland's suspension, the UFC Houston main event, and the newly booked fights for Australia all set the stage for an action-packed start to the year. Fight fans are already buzzing, so drop your predictions and let us know who you think comes out on top in these upcoming matchups. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favour to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Moving on to another news. In a dramatic conclusion that left fans divided and analysts buzzing, the light heavyweight matchup between Jan Blachowicz and Bogdan Guskov was officially ruled a majority draw, adding another unexpected twist to a division already filled with unpredictability. The fight, which carried significant implications for the rankings and future title contention, showcased a blend of tactical precision, heavy exchanges, and moments where both fighters appeared on the brink of taking full control, yet neither managed to secure a definitive victory in the eyes of the judges. The bout opened with Blachowicz relying on his trademark veteran composure and well-rounded skill set, mixing calculated striking with subtle feints and moments of pressure. Guskov, however, refused to be intimidated by the former champion's presence. Displaying impressive confidence and raw power, he met Blachowicz strike for strike, pushing the pace and ensuring the fight never settled into a predictable rhythm. As the rounds progressed, momentum shifted back and forth. Blachowicz found success with technical combinations, body shots and timely counters, while Guskov's aggression and power punches created real danger throughout the contest. Both fighters had windows where it seemed the tide was turning in their favour, but neither produced a moment definitive enough to secure a clear win. When the final horn sounded, anticipation filled the arena. Fans awaited the judge's verdict, expecting a razor-close decision for one side or the other. Instead, the announcement of a majority draw sent a wave of mixed reactions through the crowd. One judge scored it for Blachowicz, while the remaining two had it even, resulting in the stalemate. The MMA community responded quickly, and among the first to react was former light heavyweight champion Jiří Procházka, who expressed his thoughts through a series of lightning bolt emojis on social media. While simple, the message captured the intensity and electrifying nature of the bout, signaling that the result had caught his attention as well. The draw leaves the futures of both Blachowicz and Guskov wide open. Fans are already speculating about whether the UFC will move toward an immediate rematch or pivot to fresh matchups. What's clear, however, is that this fight added new energy to the light heavyweight picture and reignited discussions about who will rise next in a division full of dangerous contenders. Moving on to another news. In one of the most talked about moments of the night, Payton Talbott secured the biggest victory of his career by defeating former double champion Henry Cejudo via unanimous decision. Talbott showcased impressive composure throughout the fight, mixing calculated striking with timely takedowns that repeatedly disrupted Cejudo's rhythm. His wrestling success was particularly notable given that Cejudo is widely regarded as one of the greatest grapplers in MMA history. Talbott not only controlled key sequences, but also demonstrated the type of growth and maturity that fight fans have been hoping to see from him since his setback earlier in the year. Immediately after the final bell, Cejudo remained in the octagon to address the crowd, and even in defeat, his personality shined through. In a light-hearted moment, he asked UFC President Dana White for a performance bonus, despite losing the fight. Dana laughed and responded that he would give him $50,000, regardless of the night, acknowledging the effort and legacy of the former champion. Moments later, Henry Cejudo officially announced his retirement, closing the book on a storied career that includes Olympic gold and 2 UFC titles. On social media, he expressed gratitude and closure, saying he promised to leave everything inside the cage. And he felt he did exactly that. The MMA community quickly rallied to honor him. Jiří Procházka congratulated him on a beautiful career, praising not only his skills, but also his character and contributions as a coach. Justin Gaethje saluted him as a legend who represented the US with heart and courage. Belal Muhammad complimented Talbott's performance, calling him a dog, while Gene Silva and Jeremy Stevens expressed admiration for both fighters. Ariel Helwani emphasized how impressive Talbott looked, highlighting his evolution since his loss last year. Paul Felder echoed that sentiment, noting that Talbott delivered a career-best performance, while Cejudo proved once again why he is respected by so many. Kenny Florian praised both the technicality and toughness on display, calling it a fun, high-level fight. For Talbott, this win represents a major step forward. He spoke afterward about staying composed, learning from his past mistakes, and continuing to evolve mentally and physically. He hopes to face more top-level strikers and bring excitement to the division as he climbs toward the rankings. Henry Cejudo walks away as a legend. Payton Talbott walks away with momentum and a statement victory that may mark the beginning of a breakout run. Moving on to another news. In the co-main event of the evening, Joshua Van captured the UFC Flyweight Championship in shocking fashion, defeating Alexandre Pantoja by TKO just 26 seconds into the first round. The abrupt ending came after Pantoja threw a head kick that Van successfully caught. As the defending champion attempted to regain his balance while falling backward, his arm twisted unnaturally beneath him, appearing to snap on impact. The referee immediately stepped in, waving off the fight before any follow-up strikes were necessary. At the moment, the exact nature of Pantoja's injury remains uncertain, though early indications suggest a severe elbow dislocation or a potential fracture. Regardless of the diagnosis, the moment was devastating to witness. Even seasoned commentator Ariel Helwani urged fans not to rewatch the footage, calling it absolutely sickening. Sports medicine physician Brian Sutterer later stated that the mechanism of injury strongly suggests a dislocated elbow, which may or may not require surgery depending on the extent of related damage. The victory instantly etched Joshua Van into the history books. At only 24 years old, he becomes the first fighter born in the 2000s to win a UFC world title and the second youngest champion in the promotion's history, surpassed only by John Jones. He also set a new record for the fastest finish in a UFC flyweight title fight, breaking Henry Cejudo's 32-second knockout of TJ Dillashaw. Following the bout, Pantoja posted a message to fans on Instagram, promising he has endured worse and will return stronger. Many in the MMA community echoed support for his recovery. Max Holloway and Adrian Yanez pleaded with the UFC broadcast to stop showing the replay, while Belal Muhammad lamented that the fight had all the makings of a war before the injury occurred. Dominic Cruz voiced frustration that fighters aren't given the option to continue in certain situations, though most viewers agreed the stoppage was necessary given the severity of the injury. Joshua Van, meanwhile, expressed mixed emotions, grateful to become champion, but disappointed that the fight ended in such an unfortunate manner. He acknowledged Pantoja's greatness and believes the former champion deserves a rematch once healthy. At the same time, Van emphasized his desire to stay active and defend the belt against whoever the UFC deems next. Although the finish was heartbreaking, the outcome undeniably signals the arrival of a new era in the flyweight division. Joshua Van promised he and his team would take over, and now he stands atop the division, ready for whatever comes next. Moving on to another news. In the highly anticipated main event, Petr Yan delivered a masterful performance to defeat Merab Dvalishvili by unanimous decision and reclaim the UFC Bantamweight Championship. Over 5 grueling rounds, Yan showcased the precision, discipline, and championship composure that once made him one of the most feared fighters in the division. Dvalishvili, known for his relentless pace and unrivaled cardio, pushed forward from the opening bell, but Yan's calculated striking, takedown defense, and well-timed offensive sequences ultimately proved too much. Following the bout, Dvalishvili immediately called for a rematch, expressing both respect and frustration over the outcome. Despite the loss, Merab received admiration from fellow fighters, including Islam Makhachev, who hailed him as one of the greatest to ever step into the cage, while congratulating Yan on earning the title back. Dana White acknowledged the magnitude of the moment as well, signaling the crowning of a new champion. Reactions from around the MMA world poured in quickly. Coach Tim Welch was stunned by Yan's performance, posting "Holy Petr Yan" and highlighting Merab's impressive activity despite the defeat. Kamaru Usman praised both fighters, calling it a phenomenal bout between two elite competitors. Belal Muhammad was equally impressed, complimenting Yan's near-flawless technique and adding that Sean O'Malley is likely pleased with the result given their heated rivalry. The MMA guru went even further, describing the fight as a 5-round beatdown in which Yan walked down, took down, and systematically broke Dvalishvili with relentless pressure and surgical accuracy. Other fighters chimed in as well. Josh Emmett congratulated the newly crowned champion. Matt Brown voiced excitement for a potential trilogy, and Giga Chikadze honored Dvalishvili as a future Georgian Hall of Famer regardless of the outcome. Derek Brunson disagreed with commentators, calling the fight close, arguing that Yan put on a true clinic. Even rising bantamweight contender Ayman Zahabi reacted live, congratulating Yan but confidently stating he still intends to face him in 2026. When Yan addressed the crowd post-fight, he expressed immense gratitude, proudly declaring how meaningful it was to once again hold the championship belt. With this dominant performance, Petr Yan officially returns to the top of the bantamweight division, and the road ahead promises blockbuster matchups, high stakes, and a potential rematch that fans are already clamoring to see. Moving on to another news, Tatsuro Taira delivered the biggest victory of his career with a stunning second-round TKO over former flyweight champion Brandon Moreno. The finish was not only decisive, it was historic. For the first time in his 33-fight career, Moreno suffered a stoppage loss, a fact that immediately sent shockwaves throughout the MMA community. While Taira earned praise for his calculated high-pressure performance, many observers expressed concern that the stoppage may have come too early. Analyst Alan Dubin noted that the fight-ending sequence looked premature, saying Moreno was still moving and defending. Aaron Bronsteter echoed that sentiment, arguing that a two-time world champion like Moreno should have been given more time to recover from the position. Kenny Florian added that it was not a great night for referee Mark Smith, who is usually regarded as highly reliable, but still credited Taira for capitalizing at the crucial moment and escalating his offense with precision. Despite the controversy, many respected fighters and analysts agreed that the win clearly elevates Tatsuro Taira into the title conversation. Belal Muhammad stated outright that he believes Taira has done enough to earn the next shot at the flyweight belt. Max Holloway reacted by teasing the possibility of a massive UFC return to Japan, and Ariel Helwani stirred excitement by suggesting a potential showdown between Taira and Kyoji Horiguchi in Japan, a matchup that would be monumental for fans of Japanese MMA. Following the fight, Taira spoke confidently about his performance and his intentions moving forward. He explained that his game plan evolved mid-fight as he sensed Moreno beginning to slow down. Rather than rushing for a finish early, Taira strategically applied pressure, forcing Moreno to expend energy until openings emerged. Taira emphasized that he trusted his striking and kicks to produce real damage, and expressed satisfaction that he delivered the first finish of the former champion's career. Looking ahead, Taira made his ambitions clear. His next target is a title shot against reigning champion Alexandra Pantoja. After claiming the belt, he said he would like to face rising contender Joshua Van. With an undefeated record and a breakthrough win over one of the most durable fighters in UFC history, Tatsuro Taira now stands at the doorstep of championship gold, and the flyweight division has officially been put on notice.